TIFU by dry swallowing pills. I take some day pain and antidepressants. Well, I always thought the reason people take pills with water was just because it goes down easier. I spent a year and months mostly if not always dry swallowing pills because it was easy to do and, while not the most comfortable thing to do, not painful. I drink plenty of water. Just take my medicine in the morning rush while in the car. Well, boy, was I wrong. I Google searched after an hour of extreme pain and uncomfortable cramps and burping that they are to avoid chemical burns. I considered the emergency room, but as a male in the US I decided it was best to suffer through the night and learn my lesson. I also Google searched how to fix the pain and drank liquids, but it was midnight and too late to eat or go buy aloe vera juice and other recommended remedies. So I suffered on for hours feeling painful burps and like there was a hole in my stomach. The next day eating and drinking was very uncomfortable, but was forgotten after an additional day or two. TLDR. Dry swallowing pills for months and finally got a nasty chemical burn and hours of pain to the point where I couldn't sleep and even felt the consequences days after. Drink plenty of water with pills. I remember an experience I had at work a few months ago where I had to dry swallow some anxiety meds in a capsule. It got a little stuck in my throat, and when I burped, the capsule must have broken open because it was the worst chemical taste and smell I ever had. Almost puked, but it wasn't as bad as what you had. Same reason I take aspirin on a full stomach now. Glad you feel better. I saw this and thought immediately of Zoloft. Did the same thing before a plane ride and thought my throat was about to disintegrate for hours. Last week I had a stomach bug. I was so nauseated and was having waves of pain. My husband brought me some Pepto-Bismol pills. Every Pepto-Bismol pill I had encountered prior to this instance had been chewable, so when he handed me the pills I didn't even look at them. I just threw them in my mouth and started chewing. Dear reader, these pills were not chewable. That was the nastiest, driest, bitterest experience. Luckily it didn't cause any new stomach issues. But boy, it did not help my situation. When I looked up at my husband, he was standing there with a shocked look on his face and holding a glass of water. I hadn't realized the reason for the water until it was way too late. On 2 different occasions, I dry swallowed L-theanine capsules that got stuck in my throat and opened up. It kept making me burp, and each time white powder would come out, like I was some kind of cheap Walmart dragon. I dry swallow every day for the past 3 years. Does Concerta not count? Calling myself out, but I did not know this. I almost always dry swallow my pills. Birth control daily and pregabalin 3x per day. I've gotten used to the aftertaste. Just started on Vyvanse too. I don't necessarily all the time, but I don't think about it and just whatever is easier. Also, I will dry swallow Tylenol. Sorry for your experience, but thank you for the info so I don't end up here. I didn't realize there was an actual reason behind it, lol. Oh man, that sucks. I've done that plenty of times too and thought nothing of it. But now I'm definitely gonna make sure to chug some water with my pills. Thanks for the heads up. Zoloft? Learned that the hard way. If you ever need to swallow a pill dry again, try chewing on your tongue. Makes more saliva appear in your mouth. Thyroid pills in particular require water because they need to be absorbed by your intestines. Dude, I do the same thing too. Never had a problem but never took anything long term. Thanks for sharing this because you may have saved me from future chemical burns. My ex dry swallowed aspirin or something similar and it got stuck in her throat. She could breathe, but it just wouldn't go down no matter what, and she just let it sit hoping it would dissolve. It did, and created a small hole in her esophagus. She said it was painful as hell. IDK how long it took to heal. I dry swallowed ibuprofen once and almost instantly vomited. Thank you for posting this. My son recently told me that he doesn't need water for pills. Now I know to explain this to him. You should post this on YSK subreddit. Dude, why would you dry swallow pills? That's like asking for trouble. I learned that the hard way too when I chugged a whole bottle of NyQuil without water. Stick to your mama's advice and always take with plenty of H2O. Is it duloxetine? I take that before bed and have had one get stuck. It woke me up with the worst pain right at the base of my neck. It was so bad. Like heartburn of 1,000 suns that no water or antacids could smother. I once got a pill stuck in my throat while trying to dry swallow. Just beyond where tongue or throat movement could get it to shift. That day I learned that I have an extremely weak gag reflex as I punished it free manually. But boy did my throat hurt after that. Turns out it takes very unkindly to you rummaging in your pharynx with a finger. I feel this BC. I've never been a breakfast person. But I have morning meds I need to take. Took a couple months of morning nausea to find out I need to take my meds with food. BC, they can cause nausea without food. Now I take my meds with a protein bar and water. What does being a male in the US have to do with anything?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.